Okay, now we'll let me get back up to the letting nigga.
What up, good people? How are we doing? How are we doing? It is one of my favorite days of the week. What up, Wednesday? What it do, Wednesday? Way back Wednesday. Either way, how are you doing today? If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. You celebrate an anniversary, happy anniversary to you. If you're off today, clear up that house, do them dishes, get that laundry done, do something productive today. You got this no matter what. But welcome to CertaPro Painters presents Montez at midday. I'm your host, Dre Montez. And my, oh my, we've been back a week and I've already made a mistake. I just did an entire podcast. An entire podcast, and I forgot to hit record. How? It's the things. I usually have a checklist, but I was feeling good, feeling a little vibrant, but I did not get the best sleep you can imagine. It is that time of year again, people, where folks just, it's not domestic. It's friends drinking and partying that go too far sometimes. They forget folks got to get up early and go to work. Folks need their 5 hours of sleep. 8 hours, I can't talk to you. If you sleep in 8 hours a day, we're not from this planet. No, that's way too much. 8 hours? 8 hours, and you still do nothing. Explain that to me. How you sleep that long and still do nothing? And I don't want to hear you saying, well, man, I work 17 hours a day. You chose that job, Craig. Everyone that bitches about their job or complains about their job, let's not forget you chose that job. You did that. You filled the application. You told them people you need a job. I work in the shift. I do anything you want me to do. But then when it come time to work, you don't want to go to work. You'd rather sleep. Come on now. Come on, it's 2025. Lazy people, I thought they were gone after 2018. Now we got a new breed of lazy people. Make it make sense to me, daddy. But it is football season, people. Everybody should have the kinks out the way with their TVs and their man cave set up, they women watching area. Everybody should know the rules and regulations. Now, when you go over somebody's house to watch football, you cannot be what? Late. You cannot what? Be on the phone when you come in there. And you cannot what? Bring kids unannounced. Those are the three things right now you should be worried about right there. Those three things right there. Showing up on time. We don't want to hear no excuses. Oh, I had to go to brunch. We were still at church. Unexcusable. You can go to church earlier. You can go to church earlier. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. You can always go earlier to church, but we're not putting up with these excuses. Let's not let people in that are showing up late, letting people in talking on the cell phone, and people that are bringing their kids with them unannounced. You're not coming in. We're not putting up with this year. And as I said on Monday's show, great job on Saturday and Sunday in the Tower Grove East neighborhood. The police was not called due to football nonsense. I'm proud of you guys. Proud of you. Give yourselves a hand. Ain't too much praising we gonna do if we don't abide by the rules and regulations of watching football, enjoying football, and enjoying football company. We're not gonna get too far at all. But already, I forgot to hit record on a podcast episode. I mean, it recorded on other platforms, but the main one, it didn't record. And I'm of sound mind right now. Of sound mind. It just, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Before we get into it, if it's your first time tuning in, thank you so much. If I met you over the vacation, thank you for giving the show a try, a look, a listen, and a share. I appreciate all the constructive criticism. I'm looking forward to doing more shows outside of the studio. We have our first show coming up this Tuesday at Outpost Coffee and Bricks, located in the Central West End area at 4630 Lindell. Outpost Coffee and Bricks, 4630 Lindell. It's going to be a daily drip with Dre Montez with special guest, my man Tavon Brooks, who's a real estate guy to help you get in the right place for your property, whether it's for you or your family. Either way, it should be a lot of fun. We'll be there from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. for sure. And if everything goes according to plan, boys and girls and children out there, we may have a title sponsor for Who's to Blame podcast. If everything goes according to plan, we got to lock it in. In the words of Zig Ziglar, coffee is for closers. Secrets of closing the sale. Think and grow rich. You put all those together, we can have a very, very successful sales season here on the shelves. So keep your ear to the ground on that. Also, on a sad note and somber note to my Sumner Bulldog family, my softball community, we lost someone, Mr. James McFerrin. Prayers, thoughts, and condolences to friends and family members alike that knew this man or you came across him. In reflecting on how we first met, I believe it's sixth grade when I first met James, sixth grade. And then everybody coming up, you're going to cross paths in the sport world, whether it's softball, baseball, football, or basketball here in the St. Louis region. A few hockey guys out there as well. But you're gonna cross paths. Can't forget about soccer either. But just in St. Louis, this may be one of the only cities I've ever lived in. To find out you know a person, what high school you go to? What's your real name? Where'd you grow up at? What sport did you play? That's the questionnaire right there. In St. Louis. That's it. When I lived in the South, who your people is? who your people is? You look like you carry them folks down the road, them Jeffersons. I'm not moving up like the Jeffersons. I don't even know the Jeffersons, but it is like that. It's a trendy thing here in the Midwest. What high school did you go to? And tell people, Sumner Bulldog. Where'd you grow up at? Projects. Hey, what ball did you play? Baseball. Oh, America's pastime, baseball. But this time of year, baseball is posing questions I don't like. Regular season numbers versus team performance in the postseason. That's an argument right there. You can't go to the barbershop and be in the chair talking about baseball in St. Louis. You're going to tell your barber, hold up. And you got to chime in on the conversation, how barbershops used to be back in the day until they let women control how you talk in a barbershop. Ain't that some shit? I was talking sports in the barbershop a few years ago, and the man said, hey, well, a lot of type of talking in here. I said, what the hell did I say? You can't say that in here, man. We got women in here. Man, if you don't shut the hell up, I walk right the hell out of that damn barbershop. Ain't no, that used to be a place we were able to go and get things off our chest. The Jet Beauty of the Week, who on the cover of Vibe magazine, to what we want to get off our chest about sports. And now they had the audacity. Can you not talk like that? We got women in here. It's called a hair salon for them. It's a barbershop for us. You can get life lessons at the barbershop. Stolen goods, hot music, brand new CVDs, faux movies, porn, jewelry. You can get everything at the barbershop back in the day. But now you can't even talk at the damn barbershop. Damn shame. They can bring a King Corso in there, 4 kids, smelly ass food, but we can't get things off our chest. Where can man go talk at today? Where can we go and have a conversation about us, the men folk? Nothing about these women, because don't nobody understand them. And I have 3 daughters. Nobody. I'm telling you, when that, what was that? I want to say in 2021, I think they did a trade-off. These are not real humans down here. But back to the men folk. I'm noticing something, fellas. You're holding stuff in again, and you're exploding way too fast. Tempers are going off really fast. Where are you allowed to talk at men folk? Where can you get it off your chest? Not everything is a yelling moment or an argument, but there's some things men need to talk about. Where can we go? Where's this place? I'm not talking about your little homie that tell all your business because he's trying to sleep with your woman. Not that type of talking. Not to the girl that's your homie that's going to tell all the female friends that like you about how corrupt and toxic you are inside. Not that person either. But where can you go, men folk, and let me get it off the chest. This is a band that I got a chance to check out when I went down to over to Oklahoma City over the break. Trailer Folk. Go on Instagram. Trailer Folk. Go on Instagram. Trailer Folk. I'm telling you, just listen to that violin. The older I get, my music is it's transforming. Maybe because what's going on in the rap hip hop world is what happened? Who hurt you guys? The way y'all spell y'all hip hop names and rap names, I'm confused. Dude spelled David with a 4. D4VID. What is going on? How is this allowed? I watched the MTV Awards. I don't know what the hell. Did I go in a time warp, another dimension? I just want to go to a middle school for a week and a high school for a week and just listen. I want to know what's going on. I really do. I've yet to see a pregnant teenager or a kid with a book bag in over 3 years. What's going on? What's going on? Where are the kids' books at? Where? They said they changed school uniforms. All I keep seeing is gang members. What happened to the school uniform? What happened? When you don't have a kid in school and you see kids allegedly supposed to be in school and you see the uniform, you got questions, don't you? You got questions. I have several questions when it comes to the educational system here in the St. Louis region, where I live at and where I went to school at. I'm not saying I want things to go back to where it was in 70s, 80s, and 90s about education. It should be better. These kids today should be smarter than their parents, than their grandparents. Are they? All right, back to the men folk on dating. What are y'all doing? What's going on, fellas? Look, it's rough out here. Everybody's sharing somebody. Everybody is sharing somebody. Just be truthful to each other before you get knee deep. The internet has ruined the crush. Everyone had a crush. The internet ruined that. Dating apps ruined that. They ruined it. They have taken the fun out of having just a little crush. You're not trying to commit on it or comment on it, but there's something out there you like looking at. But the internet is taking it away. They have ruined you walking past a woman in the morning saying good morning. They have ruined that. They won't even say anything back because of what has been shown to them on the TV, on the internet. Bad movies on television, horrible acting on Tubi have made people not speak when you're walking by them. When the last time you walked by somebody and said good morning, they said it back? Especially the opposite sex. When? I'll wait. I want you to comment on the Major League Jerky phone line at 515-599-1687. Major League Jerky tastes so good, it's natural. GetTheJerky.com. Get your Major League Jerky today. Give us a call at 515-599-1687. I want you to chime in, men folk. Chime in. We can't talk at the barbershop. We can't say good morning to nobody. But we always to blame, and the finger is pointed at. We don't communicate. You don't take me nowhere. You don't introduce me to nobody. That's what I'm hearing from the men folk. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just observing the chaos out here. I'm just sitting back from afar, just saying, I remember those days, but it didn't affect me. It didn't affect me. Well, moving right along. Monday Night Football is in the bag, people. It is in the bag. We got the official very first week of football out the way. Any arguments at your house? Did you have to kick somebody out early? Who got too drunk? Who smoked all the reefers? Point these people out. This is my very first time ever in my life paying for the NFL Sunday ticket, and it feels great. I'm legal now. I'm legit. I was bootleg for 25 years. I'm straight up legit now because everything I had bootleg got zapped. So I'm on the up and up with cable and the NFL Sunday ticket. I never thought this day would come, but it did. I'm legal, Mom and Dad. I did it, kids. I did it. I became legal. When you see how much money you pay and you're watching it, and there's a glitch, anything, write it down. That game was messed up for 18 seconds. I'm keeping count. When you pay for something, you become petty. You become real petty. But Monday Night Football did not disappoint. We finally got a chance to see old J.J. McCarthy from Michigan. All that hype he had last year. Shout out to my buddy Tyler, who's a huge Purple People Eater fan. My man, my dude, Tyler in the school. Shout out to Prairieville, Missouri. But the first half was a total different game than the second half. It seemed like the speed of the game was confusing to JJ in the beginning. And it seems on the other side, the Chicago Bears, and Mr. Fingernails himself, Caleb Williams, they couldn't figure it out. So the second half, there was opportunity on both sides. Momentum was there. The crowd was there. Shout out to my cousins. They went the game. Dominique, I saw you, homie. Saw my cousin on TV. When you see people you know on TV, why do you point at the TV if nobody's watching the game with you? That was my cousin. There was nobody watching the game with me. But that was my cousin right there. I don't know if it's true about Caleb Williams. If he is, to make it this far, if you're dyslexic and you make it this far, playing a position at quarterback, there's no knock on you. You found a creative curve to do your job and to excel in this sport. So there's no knock on him at all on that. But it's the same old Bears. It's the same old Bears to me. Nothing has changed but the names of the players. How does that happen? I'll tell you how it happened. There are two teams that are more concerned about real estate than their team performance. There are two NFL teams right now that are more concerned about what's going on in real estate than they are on the field with their team. Those teams will be the Chicago Bears and the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're concerned about the new stadium, the new ordeal. Are they going to get it? Who's going to give them money? All that they're worried about. Nobody is worried about what's happening on the field. But you got teams like the Commanders and the Bills. They know we're going to let those people worry about the real estate, and we got this here on the field. You have some ball clubs like that. Here's some ball clubs I figured out. Folks hitting the panic button too soon. Whether they won or lost, I still saw some hitting intangibles to see an upside. An upside in this. Dallas Cowboys. I saw that performance they had against the Eagles. Dallas should have won that game. You have a receiver that dropped the ball 10 times. Who's to blame? CeeDee Lamb. The Tennessee Titans, if they work on learning how to catch the ball from Cam Ward, talking to you, Mr. Ridley, you the vet. You can't have that many drops where a rookie can come in there shining like that. They should have beat the Broncos, in my opinion. If they would have caught the ball, Tennessee would have beat Denver. There's upside right there. The Minnesota People Eaters of America. Yes, they beat the Bears, but it's the way they played the game in the second half. I like teams that makes those minor adjustments that turn out to be a big thing and you get the dub. And you're able to shine defensively, offensively, and with your whole scheme of your game plan. That's what I like about them. The Baltimore Ravens. That was one of the craziest damn football games I've seen since the Arizona Cardinals quarterback rammed his own head into the wall in celebration and had a pinch of nerve. That was crazier than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning a game on a Martin Gramatica field goal, and he jumps up in celebration and tears his ACL. That's how that game was. It was everything you can imagine happened in that game. They want to blame Derrick Henry for the fumble. Play call. Why didn't you attempt a field goal? Why? Your defense on tackling. If Baltimore goes in this week and works on those things right there, they're going to be A-OK. The Los Angeles Chargers. Captain Khaki Pants has found another one. He has found players. He's found coaches that believe in the hardball magic. Who has it better than us? They all believe that. When you get everybody to buy in what you're preaching and what you're doing and how you're going about executing it, everybody's let's go. Let's go. That's where the Chargers are at. The Jets, Jets. Nobody had the Jets scoring that many points against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I must say this. Now I see what they were saying when Justin Fields was in Chicago. If you give the man this, he can do that. If you add this, this will happen. I saw it. There is hope and belief in the Jets this year, offensively. Now, closing out the game and finishing the game, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. But that's what I see right now. The first week of the NFL and teams, whether you got the dub, you almost got the dub, didn't play the way you thought that team could play with the talent that you had through drafting or through trades or re-signing folks, giving them the bag where you thought it was going to be at. And I got to put up there on a high honorable mention of the Green Bay Packer backers, the Cheeseheads. They really believe from one game, one additional player to that defense with a name is Michael Parsons is the biggest flex that they could possibly have. I think Green Bay ownership and minority owners and the whole town figured out something. Hey, let's let the coaches do their job. Let's stop calling to these radio stations. Let's stay off of social media and let the coaches do their job and let the players play. Let's try that and see what happens. Let's just see what happens. You ever just sat back and watch your kid play? You don't say nothing. They fall, hit their head. They don't cry. But the moment you chime in, when you just sit back and watch, it's a beautiful thing. And you have certain ownership groups, fan bases, and teams, they don't understand that. They got to chime in on everything from the color coordination to the alternate uniforms, the cheerleaders, the time of the game, why they picked this player, why you on Instagram. All those things other than the game is being talked about. How did we get there? How? It seems as though this could be another reason for the Bears situation. Caleb Williams last year was sacked 68 times. Does anyone know why? Why was Caleb Williams sacked 68 times? Yes. He held the ball too long. 5 seconds. You cannot hold the ball for 5 seconds in the NFL. No way. No. Everything is about timing. And they use time more than anything in basketball, football, and baseball. Those three sports, they're really pinpointing the time. In basketball, it's points per minute. They know in 48 minutes, your most productive time in a game. What's first, second, third, or fourth quarter? Whole game. That's why you see some guys playing 12.3 minutes. That's when they're most productive. But they got to figure out where to use you at, how to use you to get the most out of you. Okay? Just like football. They got to figure out the type of defensive matchup you're about to face if you're an offensively minded team, the best production we can get out of you versus this type of a defensive scheme. But when there's a stutter, if you holding the ball on for 5 seconds, you're putting us in a shambles already. You can't do that. Now, instead of 1st and 10, we're at 2nd and 18. Instead of 3rd and 5, we're at 3rd and 12. Nobody's running the ball on the 3rd and 12. You're making it too predictable when the schemes and these quarterbacks and offensive coordinators and new right tackle, new left tackle don't get the message, didn't understand the assignment. But we as fans, we want to pinpoint it to one person. But in the words of Bill Belichick, do your job. That's when people building these teams out here in music and television. Look at the people they have on the team. Everybody knows their job. They're not trying to do another job with somebody else on the job. But if everybody does their job, I think it'd be more success rating in the games of sports. Moving right along, it seems as though we got to have this conversation again with these professional athletes about what, kids? Gambling. You can't do it. There's no way around it. You cannot do it. They're going to find out. You're going to look like an idiot. And the apologies that you use through your publishers to buy your own record is just, we know what they're doing. Gambling is a part of every sport. We knew it was coming. We got to deal with it. We have to deal with it. In the military, they had really, really strict instructions about you going to a strip club in your uniform. You couldn't do it. None of us. We knew how to abide by the rules so we could still have the pleasure of going to the strip club right outside the gate of the base when I was stationed in Pearl Harbor. Just don't wear your uniform in there. We won't have no problems. We never had no problem. Why is it that these athletes can't abide by the rules? Current, the ones working for these sports networks and platforms, you cannot do it. Your family members can't do it. Your immediate family definitely can't do it. Who is to blame for that? Where is the conversation going out? Because now we got allegations of Mr. Beasley being involved. They just don't get it. And Tyreek Hill, I think you ought to retire from football. Just retire from football. Get a job on TMZ as a sports reporter. I don't think you want to play football anymore. The next time a player say, I want to get traded, and I don't give a damn who he is. Whoever is the owner, get rid of him right there. Right there. All right, you want to get traded? Gotcha. Bye. Bye. Stop not honoring your contract. You had more kids than touchdowns. Make that make sense, but you the receiver. You the money man. Well, he throw a better ball than Patrick Mahomes anyway, so I saw the upside. You saw a tax break in good weather year-round, except in December. Miami don't know how to what? Play football. But you have these athletes think they know more than us. They think they know they know more than a billionaire that owns your team. You just learned how to read a contract 2 years ago. But we keep coming back to the same situation every year. Player wants a trade. Player demands trade. Bye. See, the NFL Player Association, they speak up at the wrong time. I don't know if you guys ever been I got to be careful when I say this word. You look around, because we are in the Midwest. I don't know if any of you have ever worked for a job and you had a, union. Sometimes it can be good for you. And other times you're like, what the hell am I doing with this union? That's why I think football is at sometimes. They're putting themselves in position with these players that don't understand what the hell they signing. It's just like people get these record contracts, these music deals. They didn't read the fine print. They never read the contract. They just said sign here and put your date and initial here. And that was it. They didn't read none of that shit at the bottom. None of it. But when it's time and you got questions on why this not being executed or why this wasn't done or why I can't do that, did you read your contract? Then you read the contract and you're like, now you sound like a politician on the Hill. Well, I didn't see that, Your Honor. No, you had to. They told you this in middle school, depending on where you went. They told you this in high school, depending on where you went. Reading a contract. There's so many people I know that hate the music world here locally because they didn't read the contract. Don't blame them because you didn't read the contract. Blame yourself. Blame yourself. Oh, they did me dirty. Anytime you talk to somebody about music and they say, oh, I don't mess with them no man, they did me dirty. Just say, what happened? Tell me in your words what happened. And when they tell you the story, you're saying to yourself, well, it sounds like you made the mistake because you didn't read the contract. If you read the contract, read the fine print, know what you're getting yourself into, okay? Be less of that BS going on. All this talent here in St. Louis, communication is awful. People don't read the fine print, but everybody got the hottest beat, the hottest sound, and the hottest song. And then here's the killer. They don't know how to use the internet. I had a young man tell me he's the greatest entertainer the Midwest has seen. I said, send me your music. I said, here's my email. Just send it to me. He's like, I don't know how to send music in email. I snatched my card and left. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for it. Some things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to nobody's house to watch television. To watch any sporting event on a TV smaller than a 50-inch. Unacceptable. It's 2025. You have 2-year-olds with 70-inch televisions in their room. You heard me? A 2-year-old. That's what they're doing. Make it make sense to me. I think the Mannings are really onto something. From what they're doing with that Netflix movie, from how they cover the NFL. I have been saying it for years, even when I was when I was an active member of the Man Cave, that we should commentate while we're watching the games. There's some knowledgeable football fans out here that never played the game here in St. Louis, never played the game of football, but they know the game. They know their team. They can see talent. And to hear that amongst a group of the fellas watching football is one hell of a show. But the Mannings capped up on it. They used to do it back in the day with Cold Pizza on ESPN. They used to do it from barbershop. May rest easy. My dude Brian Burwell used to do part of that too as well. But the way the Mannings do it, not just from the guests that they have on the show, the football conversation that they have. Two brothers both play quarterback, and the way they talk about the game versus the way they played the game and what they did in the game for their respective teams. It is a very interesting show that I like to watch. If you've never watched the Manning cast during Monday Night Football, you can split it up. You can watch the regular version and you can watch the Manning cast. It's up to you. They give you the ability to do that. Television is what? Amazing. So again, the good news I'd like to share, next Tuesday, I will be at 4630 Lindell at Outpost Coffee and Bricks. They have the Legos. Great venue right there in the heart of Central West End, the corner of Lindell and Euclid. I'll be there at 9 a.m. to 11 with St. Louis's own hottest real estate agent, my dude Tavon Brooks, going to come on the show and talk some good conversations over coffee. Community conversations, that's what we need. When I lived in Charlotte, they did that once a month. They would encourage you to go out to lunch with a coworker that you don't know that well. And you have conversations over lunch and you get to know the person. Usually they were looking for you to talk to a different ethnicity or race. And it was a great promotion that they did. I think it went over the summertime. I do believe that happened. But things like that, when you get a chance to talk to people in open space, it's different. It turns into an engaging conversation. It turns into a teach back. It turns into a learning moment. Because I think here in St. Louis, the city, I can't speak for the county, and people, that's a whole different country out there, that county. Here in the city, I think the more we talk and listen to each other, I think improvements can be made. Now, the yelling at the town meetings, okay. We know about the ice. We know about the tornado removal. We know about the mail. I keep trying to tell you how to fix the mail. Robots. You want to fix bad driving? Autonomous. You want to fix bad employees? Robots. You want to fix the security on MetroLink? Robots. Look at RoboCop. If we had that, oh man, this city would be clean. Would be no issues downtown. Curfew would be enforced to the fullest. Why are you on the street? Show me your ID. If you don't have ID, whoop ass time. And we're going straight to the house. We're going to do what? Lock up the parents. Maybe if they get a jail cell for the parent and the kid together, they would understand. I tell you one thing I understand. I understood the assignment that the NFL and college football is doing. They want to make us watch TV each and every minute by the schedule they've given us. All right, folks. I'm going to let you guys get out of here. Again, I made a mishap by forgetting to push record on the studio version of Who's to Blame, the podcast, episode 562. It is up there for you on Spreaker as well as on Facebook. I'll be sharing it, as well as YouTube as well. But I will be sharing that episode for sure. I want to thank you guys for tuning in on StreamYard. What up, StreamYard folks? How y'all doing? Good people, good ups. And to the folks on TikTok, thank you for tuning in. And we will see you guys on Friday, same time, same bat channel, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in to another exciting episode of CertaPro Painters Presents Montez at Midday. Until next time, I have people, and we